Hi everyone, this is Lloyd Allen at Marriage is Saved, and I'm excited to have you joining me today on this broadcast. Today I'd like to present to you 5 components of an emotionally healthy person. 5 skills of emotional intelligence. So stay with us. And by the way, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, I'm inviting you to join us because my aim is to create a path to marital success. And if you're single, remember this, that the best way to avoid a bad marriage is to prepare for a good one. So preparation is key. And so we are taking on this journey. So join us as we embark, and we're going to share with you. We have a lot of information that we want to share with you so you will be equipped so you can have optimum success in your relationship. Now, emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? First of all, friends, I want to tell you this, that you should never marry a person until you have had an opportunity to assess how emotionally healthy they are, whether they possess emotional intelligence. You know, we have IQ, and a lot of people possess IQ, but they don't possess EQ. So possessing IQ does not necessarily mean that you possess EQ or emotional intelligence or emotional quotient. Now listen, friends, as it relates to maintaining healthy relationships, EQ, emotional intelligence, is important and more important than IQ. Please remember that. So, friends, what is EQ, emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence, you can define it like this by asking the question, how do you make me feel when I'm in your presence? So if you would like to assess whether you possess emotional intelligence, then think of your partner asking you this question. How do you make me feel when I'm in your presence? That is it, friends. So how do you make your partner feel when they are in your presence? Do you make them feel like a superstar? Do they feel affirmed and validated? Do they feel as though they are really important and that their opinion matters? Or they feel berated and belittled? They feel disparaged. They feel dehumanized. That will gauge whether you are an emotionally attractive person. How do they feel when they are in your presence? And friends, I'd like to share with you today also that you should never marry a person until you have had the opportunity to ascertain whether they are emotionally attractive, whether they possess emotional intelligence. Because if they don't, you may be abandoning your life to a lifetime of misery, pain, and heartache. I'll give you a little story. For example, one man, he was at the beach with his girlfriend. He looked at her and then he said to her, called her by name. You would look so much more beautiful in that bathing suit if you only lost a few pounds. Oh boy, he didn't say that. She was not a happy camper after that. She emerged from the water, grabbed her towel, rushed to her car, and she went away. That was the end of the relationship. You see, friends, you must possess sensitivity when you are relating to another person in relationship. You must be sensitive to their feelings, all right? And so I want to share with you now 5 components of an emotionally intelligent person. 5 skills of emotional intelligence. Now, 3 of these skills relate to you as an individual, and 2 relate to the other person. So let's go. Number 1, self-awareness. recognizing your emotions. One of the things I like to say to people, and especially those, who are in the confines of the church, that they should respect, they should honor their emotion. Yes, friends, we all have emotions. So don't pretend, okay? Don't pretend as though you don't possess emotions. And so, okay, I'm always happy. How are you today? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Even when your heart is breaking. Oh, could not be better. I'm just glorying in the majesty of my King. Of course, sometimes that's good. Okay, but friends, don't always pretend as though nothing is wrong when at the same time, if you only shared, even a confidential environment with somebody else, what you're going through, then they could help you. Because you see, as iron sharpeneth iron, so one man the countenance of his friends. We are here to help one another. So recognize your emotion. You possess emotion too. Some people say, well, men, men don't have emotion. Sometimes I say, a man is like a coconut. You see, on the outside, he may appear hard and tough and unconquerable and impervious, as though man is impenetrable. But friends, on the inside, there is jelly, okay? He too has a heart that is responsive to tender loving care. So everybody has emotion, and we must recognize that. So self-awareness, recognizing your emotions. That's number one. Number two, self-regulation, managing your emotions. That means, friends, you are in control of your emotions. You don't just think it and say it. Some people say, well, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. I'm going to drop the bomb and it doesn't matter where the splinters fall. Oh, friends, if we are emotionally intelligent, we will regard people as not things, but emotional beings, and will be sensitive to their feelings. So manage your emotion. The good book even tells us, the Bible tells us, right? The Apostle Paul says that I bring my body under subjection. It's called self-control. We must always be in control of our emotion, friends. We cannot just live based on feelings and emotion. No, we live based on principle. So the intellect should trump emotion. All right, so self-regulation, managing your emotions. Number three, motivation. Hello today. What is motivational? Directing emotions toward a goal. That's important. Motivation. Friends, there's something called distress, and there's something called eustress. Eustress is when you are able to redirect your stress to a positive goal. You are able to harness your stress, but you can exhibit it, you can implement it, you can use it for good. That's eustress. So having stress is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it can nerve us to action and to achieving positive goals. And so, friends, our emotion should assist us towards motivating us to achieving a positive goal. So motivation, directing emotions toward a goal. And those three now relate to you as an individual. Now we have the other two. And this relates to others, how you relate to others. Number four here is empathy. Recognizing emotions in others. Friends, did you know, if you are to succeed in marriage, if you are to have maximum performance in your relationship, you must recognize that others possess emotions too. And you must be sensitive to their hurt, sensitive to their triumph, sensitive to their failures, sensitive to their feelings. You know, there's a saying that the wealth of a soul is determined by how much it can feel, and its bankruptcy by how little. We must be able to empathize and to feel with others. The Bible even says, right? Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Friends, we must be able to empathize with others. So recognizing emotions in others. Do you know how painful it is to live with another person who does not respect your emotion? You know, remember the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. You know, friends, it's sad that there are some people, they treat you unkindly, but they would not want to have that treatment to be leveled at themselves. Beware of becoming emotionally entangled with such a person. In other words, friends, you cannot afford to form a romantic relationship with a person who is not empathetic, who does not recognize your emotion, who is not sensitive of your hurt and your feelings. If you venture into that kind of relationship, you'd be abandoning yourself to a life of misery and pain. And friends, I don't want you to do that. And this is why I come this passionately today, to speak to your heart that you must assess their emotional intelligence as well. Then we have number 5, social skills. Managing emotions in others. How do you do that? Friends, you are careful in how you relate to others. Did you know that the words you utter, the words you speak to others can determine to a large extent how they react and how they relate to you? What you do and what you say to others, especially in a marital relationship, can even dictate the mood of the atmosphere of your home. Friends, when unkind words are spoken in your home, even the angels disappear. Love flies through the window, and immediately your home is plunged into a state of despair and hardship and heartache. Oh, you see, our homes should be not a harbor in the storm of life. No, or rather, our home should be not a storm in the harbor of life, but our home should be a harbor in the storm of life. And that has to do now with your social skills, how you relate to your spouse. Do you treat them unkindly, or do you treat them with tender loving care? Do you validate them? Do you praise them? As the Bible says, right? We praise our spouse. How do you make them feel when they are in your presence? That determines the level, the degree of your emotional intelligence. So I say to you today, go forth and make your home a little heaven on earth. Demonstrate to your spouse that you possess emotional intelligence and you are an emotionally attractive person. Hi, this is Lloyd Allen at Marriage is Saved. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you. Press the subscribe button below and smash that notification bell. In that case, you'll be among the first to receive my videos as they are released. Remember, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.